Guess what? Guess what? There's the selfie camera working, right? See that? For video. And do you know what I did? Do you know what I did? I figured out how to disable the thing that puts you into a web browser in this camera app. I just disabled the web browser app completely, right? And what's even better is that when I go into the settings, which are right here, settings button is right there. When I go into the settings on this camera app, I get stuck in there, and you know, it's like, what do? You're just stuck in this. You're stuck in the settings menu. There's no back button. But now that I've disabled the web browser, now when I try to go to the web on the settings app here, it crashes the camera app and boots you back into LightOS. So it exits you back out into the default camera app, and then when you relaunch this, guess what? You're out of the settings menu. So I accidentally created a back button into the regular camera. So this is like, as far as I know, this is like the full solution to the problem. Like this camera, there's no way, not this camera, this phone, there's no way to access the internet unless, I should check that it hasn't broken like the LightOS, the LightOS stuff that I don't think, that doesn't ever go through a web browser, the directory and the directions app, but I think it's there, and this is a video on the other camera app, and I have no way of getting there unless I use the keyboard there, which I have to be intentional about. Do you know why I went in and tried to, the reason I was in the situation trying to figure out this stuff is because I was thinking about, yesterday I had this conversation with him about porn. I was like, it's so hard, to like know that there's a simple path to it and not do it. So I was like messing around with the keyboard thing, like just like opening all the web browser things I knew how to on this phone. I was like, it's hard. I was just like I would type into the search bar, this is really hard, because because I'm an addict, right? And then started playing with it again, and then I figured it the fuck out because that's what I know I need to do. So discipline, right? This is discipline. This is learning discipline, and it's really tough, but that's discipline. But for some reason I disabled the gallery app, and I don't know why I did that, so I gotta re-enable it. I think LightOS might be disabling the gallery app, but I forgot that I made it so that this camera puts all its files in a place that's accessible on LightOS, so that's not a problem. But then also I ran into a bug where it was like every time I tried to go into this camera, it said the camera is in use by another application, which it was by LightOS. So I don't know. But yeah. I don't know. But I restarted and then that worked. But also when I just tried rebooting LightOS without rebooting the device, it like went into the camera app. So I don't know. Is that a way to get into Android? You like press the home button while that's happening? Well, I tried that earlier without the camera app open, and that didn't work. So I don't know. Okay, so if you launch the camera app all the way, then it breaks this camera. I've noticed when I go out of the camera, out of this camera into the other camera, it like stays black because this one's using the camera, right? But then if I go into another application, then it fixes itself, and then the other camera starts working, right? So now the pathway then is you go into the album app, and then you do the shortcut to get into this camera, because the album app is also in color, right? So that's how you get this camera back working again. But yeah, I think that works fully. Unless you accidentally go into the other camera app as well, because it's a double click on the camera button. I'm gonna check that, and I'm gonna check if you can get into Android while rebooting LightOS, because the camera app is open. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so the reboot into Android thing, that doesn't work, which is a good thing. That's a good thing, because otherwise I would probably have to get rid of this app and the e-reader one. But then, there was something else I tested. What was it? I don't know. I'm gonna look, and then I'm gonna come back. There's something else I tested. It looked good. I don't remember what I was. I'm gonna look back at the footage, because I said in the last video that I just recorded. I said what it was. So I'm gonna check, because I don't remember. So it was if you accidentally open the other camera app fully again from the album. So you go album, accidentally open the other camera app, and then open this one. Does it break this? I think if the other camera was already open, yes. That's what it appears. Like it gets into the other camera too quickly, and then this one breaks, right? But I think if you're going from I don't know. I don't know how it manages resources, but if the phone hasn't been using the camera, sometimes you can get right into this one without it ever being an issue, without having to go to the album. But that's album is then a backup, or if it breaks, that's the way to fix it, right? So that's the flow. That's the flow. And I would still like to find a better camera than this one, because this one's a little. I feel like it could have a lot more going on with it. I don't know. I gotta learn. Gotta learn what the good camera apps are on Android. And okay, apparently Lightroom has a camera, but it doesn't work on this phone, because I don't know. I think it can't open the thing to sign in to Adobe. And then same thing with the Google one, and so this is the best one I found. But there's probably a better one out there, but I don't know what it is. So I probably will forget about it for a while, and then at some point I might go, I need a better camera, and then I'll put that on there, and that would be fine. But this will do. This will do for now. I was considering. Discipline, right? Discipline. So some good news. Well, I don't know about good news. I think get a hold of me. Sent him a message on Instagram. I fucking hate Instagram. But he uses it a lot, doesn't he? So he might get a hold of me. I deplore how much he uses Instagram. But he's a creative guy. I think he's doing something more with it than most people are. But still, I think he uses it too much. Gotta delete the account. I was gonna delete my account, wasn't I? Except I'm trying to get a hold of people on it. I know one of their first names. The other one might be Jones. I don't know. Why do people use it? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Look at that. The exposure went way down. Look on part of the background. It doesn't know. Look at that. That's crazy. Must not recognize a face and then expose for. Except I think somewhere in between those two would be better. But is this exposure? No, that's zoom. Does that actually change what's recorded? Look at those little pixels. Little white pixels. Hot. Or would you call it a hot pixel? Or would you call it like a... What would you call it? A hot pixel? A pixel that's always white. What do you call it? A dead pixel? A dead pixel or a hot pixel? A dead pixel or a hot pixel? Dead or hot? Are you dead or are you hot? Huh? Been writing. I wrote some poetry today. I really like. I felt it suddenly that I need to write poetry bad, right? And so I was like looking for somewhere kind of just like uncomfortable, somewhere gray. That's what I needed, and I found a gray, uncomfortable place. It was hot out, and it was in the shade, but like all the it was like a concrete bit, and the concrete was hot. So I sat down on the at first I sat on the bench, and then I saw the concrete, and I was like, oh, that place is actually gray and uncomfortable. So I sat there. Let me read it. I just dropped 2 notebooks on the floor. I lost my fucking notebook, man. I lost my notebook. I'm upset. That notebook had some cool poetry. I've been trying to write what I can remember from it because I don't know if I'm getting that back. And I'm upset. It was a good notebook. It really encouraged me to write. So like maybe I use this as an opportunity to do something new with a notebook, right? But I really liked that one. I really liked it. It was good. Okay. See, that's okay. So like that notebook, it's like, it's just this little moleskin flip notebook. Look at this. This is my drawing notebook. My drawing pad, and it's good. I like it, right? I've done a lot of drawings in here. But I don't feel that it encourages me to draw as regularly as say these. And I say these because I have 2. These are moleskins. This is a little too big to regularly put in your pocket, but it's small. If I always have my backpack on me, then it's always on me. It does fit a pocket, sort of. And you can do a little bit bigger things. But the paper's very thin and a little yellow. And like the best of my drawings in here have gone a little way sour. This one, same issues, but it's even smaller, so it can go in the pocket. And these were good. I don't think they were the best, but this one is, it's got nicer paper, thicker paper. It's got a lot of pages in it. Like it's I think it's like 160 pages, which is kind of awesome. But I don't like. Okay, so I was drawing in it like every day, doing contour stuff, right? Contour. I'm flipping to stuff that isn't all contour, but a lot of contour. This guy's cool. Gnome Scone. How do I show Gnome Scone? Gnome Scone. I like Gnome Scone. I think Gnome Scone is an interesting thing. Abstract. Only sort of abstract. Nothing's abstract. Everything's abstract. But I got good at contour doing. I got value implied by contour. That's what I've been calling it. I think I made that up. Is what I think. That one's less value and more like structure, shape, or something. I don't know. But here, I'm gonna show the best one. The best value implied by contour face that I have is this one up in the top corner there. It's out of focus. Can I focus? Ooh, no, I'm blocking the light. There. Focus there. See it? That one. That's it. How do I focus? I don't think I can really focus on it. Well, I could take a good picture of it with a real camera. And then more recently been doing some, I guess, portraiture, maybe you'd call it. That's Henry. Sort of abstract portraiture. I did this actually studying him. And that was interesting. It's a conversation where I sort of got to see his philosophy in action. Cool. He's actually got pretty developed. I mean, you know, he's not. He's got a ways to go, but I think he's sort of actively thinking about it in a way that, like, maybe not nobody else does. Like Professor Max does, for sure. Well, or he has. No, he's like Professor Max is living his philosophy. It's pretty cool. And yeah, Henry is like actively exploring, and like I think some of the stuff he says is fucked up. But he's doing it, man. He's really doing it. Cool. Here's a nipple. Nippolet. Similar type of abstraction as the gnome, actually, I would say. Quite similar. I'd sort of thought about it, but not really. And then I did, these are shapes. I don't really know what they are. This one I did at the Museum of the Rockies. Sterling went with some friends, and I went, and then when they were in the gift shop, well, it was like one girl was actually in the gift shop. I did that one. Oh, looking at it flipped, it's like, whoa. It takes me a second to recognize the stuff that I was doing with it. looking at it. Not flipped, it's like it's so obvious what's going on to me. But flipped is like oh, this is a very different thing. And it's abstract, right? So I'm really glad I got to see Picasso stuff. I'm really glad I got to see some Picassos. That's been awesome. This is Gavin. I did this at church camp. Gavin. That is Gavin. Good old Gavin. G-Man. Oh. Fuck, I love that one. Oh, it looks kind of awesome. And I don't even know if I want to do that much of that sort of style of portraiture, because sort of actually abstracting more, I think, it gets sort of a little deeper, but fuck, sometimes you can do, well, not like deeper, but like, no, you don't. Do you? Some people do. Picasso knows. Picasso's dead, right? Yes. I haven't done any biographical research into Picasso. None. Zero. But I've seen some of his stuff and it's fucking cool. Actually, wait. No, I don't know anything about Picasso's life. I know he painted and sculpted and drew his lady friends throughout his life. That sounds cool. Clown. This one. Clown. There's a clown right there. Some bean shapes, beans relating to one another. And then this one's a shitty, incomplete, another abstract one. Very similar to the one I did at the Museum of the Rockies, really. Very similar. Although, not as developed. I spent probably 5 minutes on that or something. You gotta do art every day, don't you? I don't know how people do no art in a day. I don't know how that happens. Oh, I was gonna read some poetry. It's sitting right here, open. This is what I wrote today at. I was at school. I do a lot at school. Maybe I should figure out how to do more of it not at school, because that's sort of, that limits the understanding, doesn't it? I know the world through Montana State. That's pretty fucking narrow, dude. Okay. It's a little wider than it's been, but pretty narrow. This is hilarious. The last time I recorded myself reading poetry, I was wearing this shirt. It was on my other cell phone, my iPhone, which is in there. I sent it to Chipper. Chipper's not gotten a hold of me. Not a big deal. Chipper's cool, and he's gonna keep being cool regardless of if he's talking to me or not, isn't he? So, poetry. Poetry. Block the light. I want to be facing this way. I want to block the light. And I want that stuff in there. Boom. That's where we want to be. Poetry. Sitting in the gray heat. Off kilter. Access worn. Brickbed landing. I don't understanding. Why do you water waste when I pay your tax evasion? And his dick's in his pocket. Shunt off, shrug land, hand-eye socket. Watercolor is a mixed medium. Poetry on paltry paper. Pulp paste filler. Cellulite. Taste the taste. Maker? What's portraiture? Awkward. Caricature, sure. What's character? Art. I love art, man. Interestingly, if you turn the phone off and turn it back on, it goes into this camera app and it stays in color if you were just in the camera app. So, good to know. And, oh yeah, I just wanted to say I did watercolor for the first time yesterday with Ruby, and I really liked it. I'll show it. Why not? I also think I was rude to Ruby. I know I was. I feel bad. I should apologize to her. Where's my watercolor? Should I upload this as the next rambly video where I read a poem? And what do I assemble all of the things I just filmed, or do I do just like the last one and this one, or just the last one? I don't know. I will decide here in a moment. Where's my paper with the watercolor on it? Probably I shouldn't do one where I name drop people. Well, that's something we know how to fix, isn't it? Name dropping. Dude, actually, where's my watercolor paper? Ruby gave me that watercolor paper. I better not have lost it. You know what's really funny? The comments on the Rambly videos, I have like 2 comments per Rambly video. And most of them are Ethan. I'm a little worried about Ethan. I'm a little worried about him. What? I would not put the watercolor painting, the watercolor in the bathroom. Surely I would not do that. Surely I would not do that. Okay, but fuck. It's hard to get people in on it, especially when you don't know what you're doing. That's really hard. That's hard, especially when they don't know you very well. That's really hard, right? Would I be if I were a watercolor painting? It's not a painting. There's like 3 half-baked figures, and I like half-baked figures. But it's 3 half-baked figures. And, it's important, I think, not to pretend that you know how something looks when you don't know how it looks. Unless you really need that element. But then you should probably just learn how it looks. But that might take months. So that's why half-baked drawings exist. But they're the most expressive. I'm looking in the fridge. What am I doing? Looking in the fridge. It's not gonna be in the fridge. I know it was here on the table, probably right here this morning. So where did it go? Oh, it's in the car. Why did I bring it in the car? Because I thought maybe I might do more watercolor. Here, you're gonna go in my pocket, and I'm gonna pretend like I'm not talking to myself. Right? I'm going to put you in my pocket. You're going to hear me go out in the car. I need my keys. Where's my keys? Where are my keys? Probably in my backpack. See him? Oh no, I emptied everything out of my backpack because I was looking for my notebook. My keys are in my pocket. Okay, now look at this. Okay, I got the. Can you see? I've got. These are my shoes. These are my shoes that I wear for going in and out, just back to the car. But I don't wear them anywhere else because I'm like sort of. So I don't do shoes in the house, right? But they don't get very dirty, right? So they're gonna be in my in-house shoes, right? In-house and out to the car shoes. And that's it. That's all these are for. They're my old shower shoes from living in the dorms. But I don't subscribe to wearing these anywhere else. That doesn't happen. What am I gonna do? Present myself to someone wearing these? No, I'm not going to do that. Not unless they're here and they see me going out to my car or something like that, right? That's the only situation that these shoes are for. Otherwise, typically I wear these shoes. They were free. They're free shoes. Actually, all of these are free shoes. All of these. I got these from I got those from Kevin Donegan in Portland. Same story with those. These my mom bought for me without consulting me. I don't like them that much. Which is why I won't present myself to people with them, right? I mean, look, they're cheap. They're very cheap. No thanks. But they go on very easy and they can get me out to the car and back. So that's why I wear them. Those ones were on the side of the road sometime a year ago. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll wear these. And then for like a year, not a year, but like 6 months, 8 months, something, I didn't wear them because I thought they were too feminine, right? And now, like, I mean, well, these shorts aren't that feminine. They're women's shorts, but they're not that feminine. But I wear a lot of feminine clothes, in case you didn't know. Those shoes were on the side of the road about a year ago. Got those after I lost the shoes I was wearing, which I had bought at Saks, up in a tree. We were trying to get Frisbee out. Threw my shoes up there. Both of them. We didn't untie the laces. I think that was our downfall. Although I don't really know how they got caught up there necessarily. I couldn't get up to them. I did try. I tried to climb that tree, but it would have been quite the project to get up to them, I think. And then we were throwing rocks trying to get it out, and that was a bad idea. We could have broken a window or something. But I like those shoes a lot. They're starting to wear out a little bit. They're nice. They're free. Just the right size, right comfort. They're good style. I like them. They're good. These bad boys I got at Saks. They're cool. They make me strut. They make me want to strut. And so they were not free, I guess. Oh, I didn't explain the sandals. Very important. Those sandals, I guess my mom got for me at some point years ago. The sandals I sort of prefer, like, utility-wise, are these ones, right? I don't know if I was pointing into that, but look at this. It wears a hole right there. on all of them. Both of these from this pair, and then this old pair. Actually, this pair is newer than the other pair, but then I grabbed those ones because they were less broken, and now those are broken. Yeah, they all come apart right there, probably from kicking them off, you know, like this, like you know, pushing down. I don't know if I'm showing any of that, but then there's green boots, good old green boots. I like these boots. I want to mend them. See, they're busted. They're busted on the back, but I love them. They're cool boots. The issue with them is that they're busted. I got those. They used to be my mom's boots, but they fit my feet, and they're awesome. Have you seen them? They're awesome. Muck boots. Stole those from home, and they're probably my brother's old ones. These shoes I think I thrifted years ago. These dress shoes. I don't really wear them, but look at that. Out of all of these boots, I bought those ones. All these shoes and those ones. Otherwise, they're free or stolen. Now you're gonna go in my pocket, because I'm gonna pretend like I'm not talking to myself right now. I'm gonna go out to my car. Man, Alex just fucking rips it. I can't imagine it, but like here, where I know people, it's hard. That's hard. Fucking, you're awesome, Alex. Time to get that water. There's all my copies of my joke resume. So I'm always making anagrams in my brain. So joke resume, I go Jore Kazoom. That's what my brain does. Which is that's not an incredible anagram, but it does sound cool. But it's not an incredible anagram because, come on, switch 2 letters. Okay, here we go. Here, I am gonna actually switch cameras. Am I? This is the little bittle, just a little bittle. Maybe that was actually a good spot on it. So I got face. That's a face. And it looks sort of a bit like some of my contour stuff, which is interesting. And then the body. And I really like this body. Yeah. I really like it. It's got some cool stuff going on. And then there's like a toad. Cool. Cool, there you go. That's it. And then that stuff, which is just learning what the hell watercolor is. So, yeah, that's the whole deal. That's the whole deal. So, Muchacha. Bye-bye.
I teased you with the joke resume, didn't I? There it is. Chuck the Wizard Novak lived in this dinky little weird-ass apartment. It's about, I say stuff about art. I want to work at Studio Coffee. That would be cool. That's a pipe dream. I know it is. That's why this is a joke, right? Because I am not employable, right? Clearly. And then I talk about Steve. Boom! I can't show that on the internet, can I? Bye.